Okay, so I went and saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse at the Cineplex in Scotiabank Theatre last night. Um, what sucked was that it was not available in AVX or in IMAX last night because Bumblebee and Aquaman both opened the same weekend. So I had to go and see it in regular 3D, and I have to say, maybe we're spoiled by the AVX sound and the IMAX sound, but it was awful. The sound was muffled. It was hard to make out dialogue. You really had to listen. The music, which was fantastic for the movie, also sounded muffled, which really sucked. So that kind of dampened the experience a bit. But I just want to say, regardless of that, the movie is amazing. What everybody is saying, all the critics, I was a little skeptical going in, but really enjoyed it. Even my girlfriend, who I don't want to say hate, but she's not into the more fantastical kind of movies. She doesn't like stuff. She's more into like dramas and comedies. She doesn't like stuff in space. She likes more realistic things. So, yeah, she liked it. There are some really funny parts in it. It's really well done. She laughed out loud, which doesn't happen often when we go to a movie that she's not that into. She usually hums and haws and this and that, but she actually really enjoyed it. So that says a lot. It is a really good movie. I like how they introduce Miles Morales. I like the build-up. The character development is really well done. I thought some of the secondary characters didn't get enough time, maybe. They were more just kind of thrown in there. And some were surprising. Some characters that they didn't show in the trailer that did show up were cool. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to spoil it. I'll speak more about that in the spoiler section. But yeah, if you go see a movie this holiday season, go see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It is a great flick. Probably my favorite Spider-Man flick. Yeah. The soundtrack is off the hook. The acting is really well done. Thoroughly enjoy it. I give it a huge thumbs up. Yeah, so go check it out. Now, we're going to go into the spoiler section. So, hold on. Okay, so, spoiler warning. You have been warned. There are deaths in this that matter. They're shocking. They're really what ends up weighing on Miles. Kingpin is brutal. He kills Spider-Man after he tries to stop the collider. There's an explosion, and yeah, he is crushed under some rubble. Miles can't save him, so he tells Miles to get out of there. Kingpin comes and just crushes him. Prowler also, he is in it, and he finds out that Miles is his nephew, is the new Spider-Man, and he won't kill him. So Kingpin shoots him in the back, and he is carried off by Miles into an alley where his father finds them, and he thinks it's Spider-Man that killed his brother, and is upset. And it's an emotional scene. Miles is torn up. Yeah, it's sad. But these deaths are what gives it kind of an emotional thread. They really affect Miles. He doesn't want anybody else to get hurt or killed. And it's kind of an ongoing thread through the movie. What I did love was all the spider people from the different Earths. The standouts for me were Spider-Noir. Nick Cage plays it cool and toned down, not his normal over-the-top crazy Nick Cage. I think Nick Cage should probably do more voice work because he's really good in this. For a 1930s Spider-Man, he was great. Spider-Gwen was also another standout for me. The relationship with her and Miles earlier in the movie before you find out that she's Spider-Gwen is great. Spider-Ham is also another great character. Very funny. Adds a lot of humor to some of the more serious parts. He's a great character. Enjoyed him. Also, I love the teacher-student relationship between Miles and the older Peter Parker. There are some really funny moments with him. Miles is learning about his new powers, he has a shock ability and an ability where he turns invisible that he both finds out. The first one he finds out when he first meets the other Peter Parker, the older Peter Parker from another Earth. And then they're in a situation in Wilson Fisk's building where he turns invisible. It's like a fight or flight kind of thing that happens. And it's really cool. I also felt that some of the characters were underutilized. Penny Parker felt like she didn't really stand out as a character other than she was visually unique and kind of cute, but doesn't really have much to do. She kind of has a fight later on, like during that final fight scene where she goes against Scorpion, and it's a cool scene, but other than that, she really doesn't do much. And same as Scorpion, although it was cool to see, and I like that they used the Ultimate Comics version of him. The other character I felt didn't have much to do, but was still exciting to see, was Tombstone. He appeared, and when I saw him at first, I was like, wow, that's Tombstone. My girlfriend's like, who? And I'm like, oh, doesn't matter, you don't know. But I liked his introduction in the old Spider-Man comics. He was a menacing character when he was introduced, and he was stalking and tormenting Robbie Robertson, who was kind of a childhood, I don't want to say friend, but it was a weird relationship. But I felt also he didn't have much to do in the movie, so I found that kind of disappointing. Also, another really cool part was how the older Spider-Man, Gwen and Miles, they go to meet Aunt May from the universe where Miles is from, where that Spider-Man's Earth died. And they take him into a spider cave, kind of. And it's a real cool scene. They give you some glimpses of some vehicles, some of the other spider costumes. And one of the vehicles was a spider buggy that they released in one of the toy lines when I was younger. And when I was younger, I was like, that's goofy. Why does Spider-Man need a stupid buggy? But I still thought it was a very cool kind of throwback. And also seeing the various different Spider-Mans. I think they even had like the big time letdown Spider-Man outfit. But it was a real cool scene. Also, another thing I wanted to touch on was the soundtrack. Probably the best of the year. I know it's going to be compared to Black Panther, which was also a good soundtrack, but didn't play for me as much. I mean, I do like the hip-hop aspects of it, but I felt with the movie, the visual aspects of Spider-Man and the soundtrack were great. Like, I've had it on steady rotation since I went and saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I like most of the tracks on it. It's an enjoyable soundtrack and probably one of my favorites of the year. The only soundtrack I would say is up there for me is Bad Times at El Royale, which movie was okay. I enjoyed it, not a great movie, but I'm a sucker for the older Motown hits and some of the tracks that were redone by the actress in it were really well done. So that was another standout soundtrack for me. I also want to say that the animation style is one of a kind. I've never seen anything like it. It's probably the best animated movie ever, like one of the best animated movies ever. And I want to say it's probably one of my favorite films of the year. Highly enjoyable. The animation, the heart, the laughter, the almost tears. It was a top tier film. It's going to get missed because people are going to see it and be like, oh, I don't want to go see a cartoon. You'll be doing yourself a disservice. This is a film you can go to with your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, your grandkids, and you'll come away happy that you've seen it. It's a top tier film. It's fantastic. And it deserves all the hype that it's getting. And yeah, if you go see one movie this year, like for the rest of this year, then go see this. I know it's going to get lost with Bumblebee that just came out, and Aquaman, and Mary Poppins. But this, I haven't seen any of those films yet, but I can pretty much guarantee this will probably blow any of those away. And I still plan on going to see Bumblebee and Aquaman. But go see this. You'll love it. Your kids will love it. Everybody who's seen it loves it. Go out there, get some popcorn, and enjoy yourself a flick or a good night at the movies. All right, that's all I got to say. If you like my video, you like my channel, like and subscribe. And I'll be posting more videos in the future. So thanks for watching.